Well, it's so disappointing, Trevor, because, I was a senator from New York on 9/11. I was with President Obama through a lot of difficult decisions as his Secretary of State. I obviously saw my husband responding to tragedies, attacks, the Oklahoma City bombing. And what you want in a president is what I think the three men I just mentioned delivered, and that is trying to bring the country together, talk about what happened with the event that they are concerned about, but not to point fingers, not to scapegoat, right, not to try to set Americans against each other. And unfortunately, that just is not part of the job that our current president accepts or is willing to perform.
Hillary Clinton robbed Bernie Sanders of the Democratic nomination, according to Donna Brazile. Hillary Clinton's campaign took over the Democratic National Committee's funding and day-to-day operations early in the primary season and may have used that power to undermine her rival Senator Bernie Sanders, according to the party's one-time interim chairwoman. The DNC official, Donna Brazile, now a political analyst, wrote in Politico Magazine on Thursday that she discovered an August 2015 agreement between the National Committee and Clinton's campaign and fundraising arm that gave Clinton control of the party's finances, strategy, and all the money raised in exchange for taking care of the massive debt left over from President Barack Obama's 2012 campaign. It wasn't illegal, Brazile said, but it sure looked unethical. Keep up with this story and more by subscribing now. If the fight had been fair, one campaign would not have control of the party before the voters had decided which one they wanted to lead, Brazile wrote. This was not a criminal act, but as I saw it, it compromised the party's integrity. Brazile wrote that she had promised Sanders to find out if the DNC had intentionally rigged the primary system in order to prop up Clinton and assure she became the nominee. That assertion first popped up after the DNC's emails, hacked by Russians, had been published online and showed former DNC chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz and others may have tipped the scales for the Democrat Clinton versus Sanders, an independent seeking the Democratic Party nod. I had tried to search out any other evidence of internal corruption that would show that the DNC was rigging the system to throw the primary to Hillary, but I could not find any in party affairs or among the staff, Brazile wrote. I was happy to see that I had found none. Then I found this agreement. Brazile, a former CNN contributor who was later dismissed after it was discovered she had forked over debate questions to Clinton's campaign, claimed when she took over as party chairwoman, the DNC was $24 million in debt. Clinton's campaign, according to Brazile, assumed that debt with its own fundraising. Hillary for America, the campaign, and the Hillary Victory Fund, its joint fundraising vehicle with the DNC, had taken care of 80% of the remaining debt in 2016, about $10 million, and had placed the party on an allowance, according to Brazile. Normally, candidates take over the respective parties' operations after securing the nomination, but Brazile wrote Clinton had done so almost 15 months before last year's election. The timeline of when all this allegedly occurred was not fully explained by Brazile, but she wrote that the discovery was made weeks before the election. She said she told Sanders what she found out and that he took the supposed information stoically. Brazile took over as interim DNC chair, a spot now officially held by Tom Perez, back in July 2016 after Wasserman Schultz resigned.